Radio, the voice of vaping. In each show, we share the latest about regulations and things you need to know, plus upcoming conferences and fests, along with interviews with the movers and shakers in this fabulous vape space. Are you looking to get into this ever-expanding marketplace? Do you want to master this industry? Listen up as Norm Bauer, the Vape Mentor, shares it all. And here's your host, Norm Bauer.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back for Part 2 of Vape News Radio, the voice of vaping. And again, if you're just joining us for the first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is show number 6, and so that means we've got 5 in the queue with 3 segments each. So there's 15 different segments of roughly 10 to 15. Some of them are actually 20 minutes long that we would love for you to go back and listen to. If you are an Android user, I want to mention that one of the directories that we are on is Stitcher. That's STITCH.com, Stitcher.com. And you can just go ahead and put us on as your subscribe list, and that way whenever we post new shows, which is every other Monday, the second and fourth Monday of the month, we'll be posting shows. You can just go ahead and automatically have it downloaded to your phone, and you can also, of course, listen on your computer. And we will be on iTunes. Promise, promise, promise. We will be on iTunes this month. And I was absolutely shocked and absolutely blown away and absolutely grateful with all sincerity that we are over 20,000 downloads since we started. And considering that's 5 shows, if there was an applause somewhere, you know, if my sound if my sound guy had his applause on there, he'd have it together. But so again, for those of you who are new to the show, or maybe that
is a pretty impressive number. That shows the popularity of what you're doing, and perhaps again, like the most successful podcast, you really have narrowed in on a niche or a niche. You found something that nobody else is talking about.
And you know what? I totally agree. I mean, there's really not a lot of podcasts out there that talk about the strategies and the business of vaping, but all things being equal, you know, you're either a user and you do it for fun, and that's cool, or you're an entrepreneur, or you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to profit from it, so that's how you do it.
And where else would you really learn about this? Because I'm assuming that the majority of people starting this are probably new entrepreneurs, maybe they're even young, and this might be their first business. So it isn't enough just to say, hey, I really like this. I really love bicycling, so I'm going to open a bicycle shop.
Yeah.
You really need to know what you've accumulated over, I won't say how many years, but a number of years, the strategies and skills needed to make a business successful and to deal with the cities and the governmental entities.
Well, thank you so much. It sounds like a promo for me.
Well, it is. I mean, because you did this for real estate and other things. I mean, you have a long, I don't know if people are aware, but you have a long business background in a lot of very serious topics, real estate among them. I know you did that. Okay. And from that, you got an experience, which is one of the things people don't anticipate. They don't anticipate there to be government regulations.
Oh, my gosh.
They think I'm just going to walk in. It's a shoe store. I'm going to I'm going to rent the space and put up some counters and start selling. No, it doesn't work that way, because you're dealing with, like liquor and other sorts of things, something that they're going to want to control through some sort of conditional use permit.
Well, this is actually a great lead into what we're going to be talking about in Section 2, because typically Section 2 and Section 3 are interviews, but this time we're going to do something a little bit different. But before we get into that, I want to tell you about one of our advertisers, which of course is Aqua Vapor. You know, e-cig companies are popping up everywhere, but none can compare to Aqua Vapor. With nearly 7 years of experience in the industry, as well as the largest selection of quality e-cig products and accessories in the United States, why go anywhere else? Why indeed? Aqua Vapor has the authentic brand name items you want at competitive prices, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff is available to assist you regardless of your level of experience. Mention Vape News Radio. Mention Vape News Radio to get an additional 10% off their already low prices. Their phone number, if you want to ring them up, is 888-782-0167, or you can go online to getmyecig.com. That's getmyecig.com, or visit one of their retail locations. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Over the weekend, over the long 4th of July holiday weekend, which, by the way, I had a great one, I thought, all right, so we don't have any interviews set up, so what is something that people really should know about? And for those of you who maybe have heard the radio show but haven't been to the website, or maybe you haven't downloaded any of the special reports, I thought I would talk about the special ebook that we have on our brand new relaunched VapeMentors.com website. Because we have an ebook that discusses the top 7 questions to ask before you open your vape shop. And again, before. I got an email earlier today from a guy up in the San Francisco Bay Area, and he was telling me about some of the challenges that he's facing. And some of the challenges are fixable. But two of the challenges are not fixable, and one of them is a crappy location. And another one is not just the crappy location, but he's in the wrong segment of his marketplace. You know, each one of us, if you're going to be in the business, has what I call a natural market. And the natural market should be resonating with exactly where your location is. And I'll kind of drill that down into very broad strokes. Let's just deal in the ethnicity marketplace. If you are Asian, and if you are in an Asian-related area, you will have a greater success than if you are a non-Asian. And please, don't accuse me of bigotry or racism or anything else like that, but generally speaking, that is going to be the true. If you are Indian and you primarily put your business in an Indian area, you will probably do better than someone who is not of Indian origin. So come to find out that this gentleman was of a particular ethnicity, and he put his shop in an area that was totally opposite of the ethnicity. Now, does that mean that he can't be successful? And the answer is no, absolutely not. It just means that people like to do business with their own kind. And again, I'm not going off on any type of political or racism or bigotry rant. It's just that's just the way people are. It's just the way human nature is. So always be mindful, guys, that if you have quote-unquote a natural market, and one of the things that we do at VapeMentors.com is we help you develop what your natural market is, you really should try to find a location that is conducive to that. So, with that being said, let's talk about the top 7 questions to ask before you open up your vape store.
Can I ask you a question before you launch it? Maybe this is one of them here.
Go for it.
When I did a lot of consulting, setting up bars and restaurants years ago, and yes, we figured out natural markets and we figured out traffic patterns and where it would go. And we were always trying to wonder, is this a destination that you could stick in the back of a industrial center and people would find you, or does it have to be out front, like with high visibility to street traffic and everything else? And we never could figure that out because it's a destination. I would say if it's a nightclub, you could stick it anywhere and people would find it. But if it's a bar, yeah, you got to have a little more visibility to it. People won't search for that as hard as you might think. What is it about a vape shop? I would think that would be more of a destination-oriented thing that you could stick anywhere, but maybe I'm wrong.
No disrespect, but yes, you are.
Okay. Because if you're the only vape shop, you would think, okay, they would go move heaven and earth to find it, but if they don't...
No. Well, here's the thing. You might be the only vape shop today, but you won't be the only vape shop 6 months from now.
Well, that's the truth.
And so here's the thing, guys. It's a very thin line. And when I do consulting, and again, I want to get back to the special report on the top 7 questions in a moment, but location is absolutely critical. Absolutely critical. It cannot be overstated or over anything. You have to have a location that's easy to get to, and there's certain guidelines that I recommend. If you can have the benefit of walking traffic, street traffic, that's even better, in addition to driving traffic. And with that being said, there are situations where being that quote-unquote destination spot that you refer to, Paul, sometimes that's actually kind of good. As a matter of fact, with one of my clients in Las Vegas, that's exactly the direction that we're going. We are creating a very unique environment. It's still easy to find, but it's a destination environment for a very, very particular reason. And I'm going to share that as time goes on, because what I've done is I've created VapeMentors.com shirts, and I have several of my clients that are actually going to be recording testimonials. And cool. I don't reveal any information about my clients because it's all confidential, of course. But once they post a testimonial, including these gentlemen from Las Vegas, we are going to talk about some of the different stores that I've been involved with in helping to open. But this is a shop that has a good location, but they also are a destination location.
So don't just succumb to the temptation. I'm going to find the cheapest rent in town. Maybe it's in the back of some industrial center, and people will find me because it's so unique.
No, doesn't hold true. Okay, question number 1. And again, I want you to all write this down. If you're driving, don't write it down. But if you're somewhere where you can write it down, the first question you want to ask yourself before you open up your vape store, what is my main motivation? The whole vaping industry is very emotional. You have people who have quit smoking after months, years, decades, who are now, they're advocating the second coming of Christ. They think this is the best thing that has affected their life, and for the most part it is. And so what they want to do is that they want to help others. And I absolutely admire, absolutely respect, and absolutely encourage you, for trying to help others, because obviously if you were able to get rid of a major addiction after several decades, you want to help do the same thing for others. But you have to ask yourself, what is your main motivation to open your store? And in my special report, I actually have lines in the paper for you to actually write down what that motivation is. So for those of you who are listening and able to write and are contemplating opening up a store, I want you to just take a moment. Put down, what are your top motivators for wanting to open up a shop? Question number 2. Do I understand what it takes to open and operate a business, deal with my city, permits, licenses, employees, marketing, and accounting?
That seems to be the big one. Nobody ever really anticipates that. Come on.
All right.
It's a fun thing. I'm into it. I believe in it. I want to share it with people. That's I love bicycling. That's when I open a bike shop. I love something. The pool, shooting pool. I'm going to open a billiard store. But do I really know how to be in business?
All right. So that's a great question. It's not rhetorical. It's very actual. So the truth is that of all the vape stores that are open right now, 90% of them do not have a checkpoint by all those things. They have not opened or operated a business before. They have not dealt with the city. They have not dealt with permits and licenses and employees, marketing, or accounting. So most people who are in this business are novices. That, however, my friends, is changing because, again, the market has been very forgiving of naivety and inexperience, but what you have happening is you have a lot of people with entrepreneurial experience, with money, with connections, and they are making a huge dent, a huge segue into the industry. And so that's why you're going to see a lot of changing demographics, both with the users and certainly with the shop owners. But here's what I want you to write down. Again, this is homework time. I want you to write down, of those things I mentioned, what are you really good at? What are you really good at? Are you really good with, tearing mods apart? Are you really good with, understanding your juices and doing all those things on the technical side? Because I'm going to tell you right now, the technical side in and of itself is not enough to sustain or warrant opening up your business. So what else am I good at? Am I really good with strategies? Am I really good with planning? Am I really good with customer service and relationships? Am I awesome with marketing? Do I have really great web skills? I want you to write down what you are good at. And again, I'm serious. I want you to write it down because I'm going to have you send me your homework and I'm going to grade it. And then, after what I'm good at, what are you not so good at? Like, for instance, for me personally, I know I'm pretty good at a couple of things, but I know I suck at a lot more things. And so this is an age of specialization. Just as you have a basketball player that is amazingly awesome at basketball, but in many cases they don't do other sports well, you have a lot of physicians that are amazing at medicine, but man, physicians make the worst business owners in the entire world. That's why they need a really top-notch business manager or office manager to, keep them out of trouble. So you have to look at yourself very objectively and very candidly and ask yourself what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. Like for me personally, don't give me a contract to read, seriously. Because my eyes glaze over and I start to literally nod off, and I'm just not a good person that deals with long, complicated legalese contracts. To me, it's all bullshit. I'm an old-fashioned guy. I'm still kind of a handshake.
Did you say bullshit in there?
No. I believe in, my word, and, the legalese is important. It's justified. It's necessary, but the truth is it's just not my shtick. It's not my thing. Question number 3. What is my budget to open a shop? Do I have enough money to, 1, find a location, cover rent and TI, get necessary permits and licenses, plus put together inventory including hardware and selection of juices, put together signage, POS system, insurance. Yes, you need insurance, marketing material, etc., etc. So there's a huge laundry list, and again, if these questions are unknown to you, you have to know the right questions to ask before you actually answer them. But if you don't have enough money to do those things, don't start, please, because...
And how long should you have cash in the bank? I mean, is it just to cover 30 days, 90 days, 6 months? What do you recommend?
87 days.
87 days. Well, you've thought this out.
I did. If you are not profitable by day 88, you might as well hang it up. All right, so that was my sarcastic wit that didn't land. But no, all things being equal, I want you to have 3 months' worth of overhead in reserve, simply because of the fact that you might come out of the chute and you might be profitable in month 1. And I've got lots of clients that are, which, again, I can talk about in future weeks as they prepare videos for me. But the truth is that undercapitalization is the death of many businesses, not just vaping industries. I have worked with hundreds and hundreds of different industries in the past, and I'll tell you right now is that you always spend more money than you think, and you always generate less revenue than you expect. So you absolutely must know what your budget is. And if you've got $5,000 or $10,000, I think that's absolutely awesome. But please, do me a favor and do yourself a favor. Do not. Was I clear enough on that, Paul? Did I say do not enough times?
I think so.
Okay. Do not open up a vape store.
But how do you stop them? They love this. It's easy. They're just going to, because they're passionate about this.
Well, you can't stop them from trying, but they won't be successful. Because the truth is that you need more money than that. And, I have known people and talked to people and gotten emails from people who they go out and obligate themselves to a lease, and that's putting a lot of money on the line. And then they find they don't have enough money to really be able to outfit the store or put inventory in. So it's Darwinism in action, my friend. It's the survival of the fittest, and the fittest will certainly survive in this industry. I'll tell you what we're going to do. This particular first part of the top 7 questions, I only got to question 3.5. So rather than continue this on in section 2, I'm actually going to roll it over into section 3 and keep you coming back. So again, we're talking about the top 7 questions to ask before you open up your vape shop. And the question I'm going to leave you with is, what is the question that you wish you had asked, or what is the question that you asked that was vitally important? I would love for you to let me know.
Boy, that's a good one.
Thank you.
After everybody has opened a business, there's always something they didn't know that they didn't know.
Yeah, man, that's the hindsight. So, again, you are listening to Vape News Radio, the voice of vaping. Do not go away. We're going to be back in just a moment with Section 3, a continuation of the top 7 questions to ask before you open your vape shop. Hit it, Paul.
You've been listening to the voice of vaping, Norm Bauer. Norm, the Vape Mentor himself, right here in Orange County's only community radio station, OCTalkRadio.net.